Welcome to Traveling Towards Wealth, the podcast where money meets adventure and freedom is always on the horizon. I'm Sarah Jones, financial coach, full-time traveler, houseplant lover, sourdough baker, and your guide to building a life that's as rich in experiences as it is in peace of mind. Each month, we dive into a new theme, whether it's real money stories, the ins and outs of full time travel, building a business or multiples while on the road, or finding wellness and simplicity wherever you are. Here, you'll get practical tips, honest conversations, and a gentle push to spend, save, and live according to your values, not someone else's rules. If you're ready to design a life you truly love, one where you can travel more, stress less, build financial confidence, shop safer, and wake up every day feeling like you're exactly where you're meant to be, then you're in the right place. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's start traveling towards wealth, one story at a time. All right, you've had automatic transfers set up to your savings account for years, but every time you check the balance, it's like a ghost town. Like, where did all your money go? Why isn't your savings growing? And why does it feel like you're failing at something that should be so simple? Today, my friend, we're diving into the real reasons your savings aren't growing and then how to fix it. So, we're going to talk about when to save, how to save, why saving is important, and where to put your money so it works for you. This is near and dear to my heart, talking about saving, right? This isn't about cutting a bunch of expenses. It's not about chasing deals. That's a conversation for another time, but it's really about creating a system that aligns with your life and your goals. Okay. So let's first talk about, okay, why your savings isn't actually growing. All right. So your automatic transfers are set up, but the balance is always at zero because life keeps happening, right? Car repairs, unexpected medical expenses, school expenses that you didn't plan for, right? Maybe you've been waiting until the end of the month to save what's left, but it doesn't work because there's never anything left over. You might be saving from a place of fear or scarcity, and that creates a cycle where the emergencies you're afraid of always seem to show up before your savings can grow. And without a plan or a purpose for your savings, it's easy to dip into it for things that don't align with your goals. Raise your hand. I know I can't see you, but raise your hand if any of that sounds familiar. Listen, this isn't about judgment. It's not about shame. It's just about recognizing that there's a huge emotional impact to this, right? Feeling like a failure because you can't seem to get ahead. This is very common with people that I talk to. And financial insecurity because you don't understand why your savings isn't growing, even though you're doing everything right. You're setting up the automatic transfers like all the money gurus tell you to do, right? So let's actually talk about the solution. Let me give you some really practical things to do and to think about. First, I want to share with you one of those kind of mistakes, right, with saving and why savings isn't really working for you is that saving from a place of fear and scarcity. And I'm going to share just a slightly different perspective with you that really ties into like money mindset and everything, but it is my own personal story. When James and I were working to get out of debt, we did have money in savings, but I refused to touch it because I was terrified that if I pulled money out of there, I didn't know what I was going to do. What if, quote unquote, what if something happened? That is scarcity to the max. Money was there, but I refused to use it. We didn't contribute a ton of money to savings because we didn't have a lot left over in our money plan. But when we would get tax returns or such, I would put it in there. and just refuse to use it. So this, it really speaks to when I talk about saving from a place of scarcity and such. And it also speaks to not having a plan for your savings. So you could have money in savings, but not have a plan for it. And maybe you never touch it in there because you are terrified to spend. That is scarcity, and that's not healthy when it comes to saving. All right. We want to create a healthy relationship with saving. All right. So let's talk about when to save. When to save is important because this trips people up a lot. Most of the time, I find that people set up automatic transfers with every pay period. And that can be effective if you have a good money plan and you know how much and why you're saving and all the other things that we're going to go into. Okay. So, when to save, saving money isn't something that you do at the end of the month with the leftovers. All right. There's never going to be leftovers, number one. So, just get that into your head. It's something that you plan for before the month even begins. All right. You are planning your savings according to your pay periods and your cash flow. So while you might set up automatic transfers from your paycheck into savings, what you're not doing is accounting for your cash flow in there. That's why it doesn't work. Right. So an automatic transfer isn't helpful if it's not aligned with your cash flow. All right. So, an example, if you get paid like biweekly, you will then decide how much money you're saving from each paycheck and you transfer it immediately when that paycheck happens. You can do this with automatic transfer or you can just do a manual transfer, but it's based on your money plan, your pay periods, your cash flow. All right. So use that tip. Don't just set up an automatic transfer if you don't know your cash flow, how much you're transferring when you're transferring it. Okay. Now let's talk about why to save. You're saving because it's protecting your income. Number one. All right. Savings is like a buffer so you don't have to rely on credit cards or loans when life throws you a curveball. My friend, life is going to throw you a curveball. It always does, and it always will. Now, I believe when you've got a good working money plan and such, right, your curveballs become fewer and they become less disruptive when you've got a good money plan, but they're always going to happen. Okay. So, second one is supporting your money plan. You're saving because it's supporting your money plan. Saving gives you the freedom to stick to your plan without constantly feeling like you're scrambling when those curveballs happen. And thirdly, it allows you to achieve your life's goals. Whether it's traveling more, buying a home, simply sleeping better at night, savings are the foundation for building a life that you want. And getting really good at saving is critical. I talk about the 6 pillars of finance. Saving is one of those pillars. It is critical to learn all of these pieces of saving money. Now, let's talk about where to save. You're going to save Peace of Mind Fund. Okay, this is basic savings account that you keep that's attached to your checking account, all right, or at the same bank, that you can access it when those urgent, unexpected expenses happen. All right. So hear me out on all of this. This is not a revolving door. These are for the urgent, unexpected expenses that happen. This is not, hey, my friend asked me to go out to dinner. I don't have enough money, so I'm going to transfer out of my savings to cover it. No, my friend, that gets you in trouble every single time. This is, hey, I had a tire blowout and I need to replace the tire in my car so I can drive it. That's an urgent, unexpected expense. My dad just passed away and I need to grab a plane ticket to get back home for the funeral. That is an urgent, unexpected expense, and that is what your peace of mind fund is for. It's not for the things that you forgot to plan for. All right. Second piece of where to save is your sinking. All right. These, I suggest using a high yield savings account with separate buckets for each goal. Okay. There's some banks that offer this. My personal is Ally Bank and is my personal favorite, but these are the things that are protecting your money plan, protecting your income. These sinking funds are like vacation, for example, car repairs, medical expenses. This could be your annual expenses like property taxes, if that's not included in your mortgage, your registrations on your vehicles. Those are a great example of annual expenses that you can have a sinking fund for. All right. You do not keep your savings in your checking account. Your checking account is not a savings, it is a checking. You need separate accounts. For this to be effective, you need separate accounts. All right. So, unspent money is not saved money. So, get it out of your checking account and put it where it belongs. So, what happens when you actually start to save with intention and you start to go through those steps and address the things that we just talked about? Quite a few things start to happen. Let me give you an example of some clients that I'm actually working with right now. No savings to speak of when we started working together. And that is one of the first things that we did. We went through their money plan and we created a peace of mind fund. We put it into their money plan. Mind you, during this time, their income didn't increase. We simply changed how they were spending money. We looked at the things that were stressing them the most, and we looked at what are the pieces that are missing that are causing the overwhelm and the stress here. All right. That's what we did. That created the ability then to create peace of mind fund. What did that allow them to do? It allowed them to change jobs. It allowed them to decide to leave their state that they were in and travel, become digital nomads for 4 or 5 months. All because we created a good money plan and we intentionally put money in peace of mind fund, and then we intentionally created a travel fund. Their income did not increase during this time. I want to stress that. We simply changed and redirected where their money, where they were already spending it, we redirected it to areas that actually brought value to their life. It allowed them to actually reach some of those financial goals that they have been working on for years that they never quite seem to come to fruition with. We were able to achieve that in 6 months. Their savings grew because we were intentional, not because they were cutting corners, not because they were cutting out all the things that were fun. All right. It was because we were intentional with how they were saving, and we got really clear on what was important to them. Okay. The emotional and practical benefits of creating your savings is peace of mind, knowing that you're prepared for the unexpected events, freedom to enjoy life without the guilt or the financial stress that comes along with it, and then confidence in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. That's critical. New seasons of life are going to happen, and we want to create that confidence that you can handle any season that shows up. Remember, okay, remember, friend, saving isn't about what's left over, it's about planning ahead. Okay, I want you to save with intention by aligning your savings with your values and your goals. And I want you to be using the right tools and accounts to make saving simple and effective. All right. Now, you don't have to feel stuck or frustrated with this any longer. Saving money is not complicated, and it doesn't have to feel overwhelming. With the right plan in place, you can build your financial security and freedom that you've been craving. You just need to be intentional with how you create that plan. So, if you're ready to take control of your savings, actually grow it, create a plan that works for you, let's chat. Feel free to book a call with me anytime. I'd love to help you hash this out and get started. So, with that, I will say until next time, goodbye for now, friend. Thanks for joining me on Traveling Towards Wealth. If today's episode sparked something in you, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave a review, or share this show with a fellow free spirit who's ready to design a life they love. Want to dive deeper? I'd love to connect with you. Book a free call with me to chat about your money, your dreams, and your next steps. No pressure, just a real conversation. You can find the link in the show notes or on my website. And let's stay connected on socials. Follow me on Instagram or Facebook for behind the scenes RV life, money tips, and a little gypsy spirit along the way. Remember, your money, your journey, your rules. I'll see you next Tuesday for another story and some practical steps to help you travel further towards wealth, freedom, and a life you love. Until then, keep wondering, keep growing, and keep spending on what matters most.